When we think of Europe, we may imagine vast green fields, snow-capped mountains, and ancient cities that have endured the ups and downs of history. But few people know that these beautiful pictures are also associated with a long story about the people who shaped this region thousands of years ago, the Slavic people. From the vast grasslands of Eastern Europe to the rugged mountain peaks, the Slavic people have built a unique cultural and historical heritage that transcends time and space, leaving a strong mark on Western civilization. So who are the Slavic people? Where did they come from? And how does their legacy live on in the modern cultures we see today? Let's explore the colorful journey of one of the largest and oldest ethnic groups in Europe to better understand its origins, culture, and stories that have never been forgotten. The Slavic people are one of the largest ethnic groups in Europe, with a profound influence on culture, language, and history. Since the early days of civilization, the Slavic people have formed three main branches: Eastern Slavic, Western Slavic, and Southern Slavic. Each of these branches has its own characteristics in terms of language, culture, and history, but all of them originate from a common foundation and are closely related to each other. The division of the Slavic people into three major branches can be traced back to the early years of the Common Era. The Slavic groups originally lived in a large area of Eastern Europe, from the plains north of the Black Sea to the areas around the Vistula River. Around the 5th and 6th centuries, the Slavic people began to migrate and divided into three main branches: Eastern Slavic, Western Slavic, and Southern Slavic. This division has occurred throughout the centuries, especially in the context of tribal migrations and the development of large empires such as the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. The origin of the ancient Slavic people is a very complex subject and is still being studied and debated by historians, archaeologists, and linguists. The Slavic people were one of the largest ethnic groups in Europe and had a strong influence on the formation of modern states in Eastern and Central Europe. To understand the origin of the Slavic people, we need to consider key factors such as migration history, language, culture, and the influence of other civilizations. The ancient Slavic people are the ancestors of the modern Slavic peoples, including the Russians, Poles, Ukrainians, Czechs, Slovaks, Bulgarians, Serbians, Croats, and many other peoples in Eastern Europe and neighboring regions. According to modern research, the ancestors of the Slavic people may have lived in the eastern and southeastern regions of Europe long before they appeared in historical records. Initially, the Slavic people did not have a unified culture but were divided into many different tribes. These tribes shared similar languages and some customs, but each group also developed in its own way. These tribes lived mainly on agriculture and hunting and fishing. Archaeological sites show that the Slavic people developed farming and food processing techniques quite early. Some of the first Slavic tribes have been recorded in ancient texts, such as the Veneti tribes, believed to be the ancestors of the Poles, and the Antes, recorded in Byzantine history books. These tribes often lived in coastal areas near large rivers. During their migration, the Slavic people had interactions with other ethnic groups such as the Celts, Goths, Huns, and Avars. These contacts helped shape the cultural and linguistic characteristics of the Slavic people. The invasions and territorial expansion of the Byzantine Empire and other empires also influenced the development of Slavic groups and the formation of Slavic states. The Eastern Slavic peoples are the largest and most influential Slavic ethnic group in history. They include the Russians, Belarusians, and Ukrainians, and their common language is Eastern Slavic. Culturally, the Eastern Slavic peoples shared deep similarities, especially in their religious practices and traditional customs. From the 9th to the 13th centuries, the Eastern Slavic peoples flourished in Eastern Europe, especially under the rule of states such as Kievan Rus, a confederation of Slavic tribes in what is now Ukraine and Russia. In the 10th century, Kievan Rus adopted Orthodox Christianity from Byzantine, which had a major influence on the culture and religion of the Eastern Slavic people, especially in Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. In the 16th and 17th centuries, with the formation of the Russian Empire, the Eastern Slavic people, especially the Russians, expanded their territory from Eastern Europe to large areas of Siberia and Northeast Asia. The Russian Empire became one of the world's greatest powers for many centuries. In the 20th century, the Eastern Slavic people, especially the Russians, were an important part of the formation of the Soviet Union, USSR, a political and military superpower. The Soviet Union had a profound influence on other Slavic nations, especially in the context of the Cold War and subsequent political conflicts. In terms of culture and religion, Eastern Slavic peoples are predominantly Orthodox Christians, beginning with the adoption of this religion in Kievan Rus in the 10th century. Orthodoxy has had a strong influence on culture and society, especially in Russia, where Orthodoxy is considered an important element of national identity. Eastern Slavic peoples have a distinctive culture with deep family and community values. Autumn festivals, Christmas, and religious ceremonies play an important role in daily life. Eastern Slavic peoples, such as Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, use the Cyrillic script. Russians are famous for great literary works, such as those of Fyodor Dostoevsky, Lev Tolstoy, and Anton Chekhov. Western Slavic peoples include peoples such as Poles, Czechs, Slovaks, and Sorbs. Their language belongs to the Western Slavic group, with distinct varieties such as Polish, Czech, and Slovak. The Poles, throughout their history, have endured many wars and invasions from neighboring powers such as Germany and Russia. However, Poland has retained its national identity and has established independent kingdoms for centuries. In the 20th century, Poland experienced many significant events, from the occupation by Nazi Germany during World War II to the establishment of the Polish People's Republic under the influence of the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, the Czech Republic and Slovakia were part of the Kingdom of Hungary before breaking away and forming independent states in the 20th century. The Czech Republic, with its capital Prague, has become an important cultural and political center in Central Europe. The Western Slavic people are predominantly Roman Catholic, especially in Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. This religion has had a profound influence on cultural and social values, especially in religious ceremonies and traditional festivals. Western Slavic people use the Latin alphabet. They are notable for their cultural traditions, including folk music, folk dance, and art. Literary works by writers such as Adam Mickiewicz and Milan Kundera have contributed greatly to European literature. The Southern Slavic branch includes peoples such as Serbs, Croats, Bosnians, Slovenians, Montenegrins, Macedonians, and Bulgarians. Their languages belong to the Southern Slavic group, with variants such as Serbian, Croatian, Bulgarian, Slovenian, and Macedonian. Over the centuries, the Southern Slavic peoples have faced invasion from the Ottoman Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. This has caused major changes in the social and political structure of the region. In the 20th century, the Southern Slavic nations were greatly affected by the Yugoslav Wars, a series of conflicts between the peoples of the region, which led to the division of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. The Southern Slavic peoples have a great religious diversity, including Orthodoxy in Serbia, Bulgaria, and Montenegro, Catholicism in Croatia and Slovenia, and Islam in Bosnia. The culture of the Southern Slavic peoples is a mixture of many influences from the Byzantine, Ottoman, and Austro-Hungarian empires. They use the Latin alphabet except Bulgarian and Macedonian. They have distinctive musical and dance traditions, as well as important religious and folk festivals. The development of the Slavic people and their three main branches has been greatly influenced by historical, religious, and cultural factors. Each branch of the Slavic people has its own distinct characteristics, but they all share a common origin and are deeply connected to each other. From their initial migrations to the great empires, the Slavic nations today have become independent and powerful entities, continuing to contribute to the development of world culture and politics. Social characteristics of the Slavic people often include strong family values and a focus on the community. Slavic families often live close together and support each other in difficult times. They are also notable for their respect for traditions and family values. However, modern societies have seen many changes in family relationships and structures. Slavic people often have strong family values and a focus on the community. Slavic families often live close together and support each other in difficult times. They are also known for their respect for traditions and family values. They place great importance on the bond between generations, with respect for grandparents and ancestors. In many Slavic societies, grandparents play an important role in educating and transmitting cultural values to the younger generation. However, modern societies have seen many changes in family relationships and structures. Communities are an essential part of Slavic social life, especially in traditional villages. The relationships between community members are very close. They often support each other in agricultural work, animal husbandry, and in festivals. Slavic art and folklore are rich, expressed in art forms such as music, dance, sculpture, painting, and literature. Folk songs, such as the Polish chanson or the Russian bylina, tell stories about folk heroes, historical events, or ancient legends. Folk dance is an important part of Slavic culture, especially traditional dances such as the khorovod, circle dance, in Russia and Ukraine. These dances are often associated with religious festivals and community events. Festivals and occasions. Festivals are an integral part of Slavic cultural life. One of the most important festivals is Maslenitsa, Pancake Festival, celebrated in Russia and other Slavic countries to welcome spring and bid farewell to winter. This festival features special rituals such as dancing, competitions, and pancake eating. Kupala Night, also known as Ivan Kupala, is a Slavic festival, especially popular in countries such as Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, which is an occasion to honor the god of water and fire. On this night, people often jump over fire and release lanterns into the river, expressing their wishes for love and purification. Traditional costumes. Traditional costumes of Slavic people are quite diverse and rich, depending on each region and period. For example, Russian people have sarafan, long skirt, for women, and kaftan, long shirt, for men. These costumes are often made of linen or cotton, hand-embroidered with beautiful decorative motifs. Slavic people have outstanding characteristics such as community spirit. One of the outstanding characteristics of Slavic people is a strong community spirit. Slavic people highly value unity in family and village. They often organize community activities to help each other, especially during the agricultural season. Everyone participates in communal work, from farming to building houses, which shows mutual support within the community. Love of nature. Slavic people have a special connection with nature, which is evident in folk tales, in nature worship rituals such as spring festivals and autumn festivals. Respect for nature, the seasons, and other natural elements is an integral part of Slavic daily life. Reverence for ancestors. Ancestors and traditional values play a very important role in Slavic society. Ancestor worship ceremonies, spirit worship, and family worship rituals help maintain a connection with the past and pass on cultural values to the next generation. Resilience and strength of faith. Slavic people are known for their resilience and strength of will, especially in difficult times, such as when they face wars, invasions, or natural disasters. They have always believed in their ability to overcome challenges and in the protection of the gods. Today, the Slavic people are still an important part of countries such as Russia, Poland, the Czech Republic, Ukraine, Serbia, Croatia, and many others. The development of these countries has been accompanied by change and modernization. However, the Slavic cultural and linguistic heritage has retained its value and vitality. The Slavic peoples continue to preserve and develop the legacy of their ancestors, from language, art, to traditional values. Although life and circumstances may change, the spirit of resilience, creativity, and community cohesion of the Slavic people has always been the core element, reflecting a large part of their identity. The Slavic heritage is not only the past but also an indispensable part of the future of Europe and the world. The story of the Slavic people continues to be written, with each generation inheriting, innovating, and continuing the values that have been forged over thousands of years.